I offer you a job right now. I will pay you $70 a day from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., 6 days a week. All hand labor, working mostly outside. No medical insurance, no sick days, no vacations, no benefits at all. And you still have to pay taxes. Will you take this job? Would any one of you take it? Well, guess not. Well, there are some people that are willing to take it. Those people are illegal immigrants. Today, I'm going to talk about illegal immigrants. I want to break some of the myths about them, and hopefully by the end of my speech, I will have changed your mind about illegal immigrants. I want to talk about 3 important points about immigration. Number 1 is the U.S. is a nation of immigrants. Number 2, illegal immigrants contribute to society and to the economy. And number 3, children who came to this country without having a decision about it, also known as dreamers. As an immigrant in this country, I understand this topic very well. I also made a research on this topic on the Center of Immigration Post, folkbusiness.com, the University of Texas at Austin.com, and the New York Times. I'm here this morning to tell you some of the truth about illegal immigrants, to tell you that they are not taking jobs from Americans, to tell you that they are not criminals, and they are new immigrants in this country, just like your ancestors once were. Let's begin with point number 1, nation of immigrants. It is very clear that this is a nation of immigrants. I mean, English is not the native language of the Americans. According to President.com, the first wave of immigrants was in the 1790s to the 1820s. But it won't be the last. The largest wave of immigrants was in the early 1900s, with over 10 million new immigrants. Today, more than 100 million Americans can trace their roots back to the harbors of New York in the early 1900s. As new people in this country, new immigrants always face the worst. I mean, lower salaries, denied to basic rights, discrimination, and hate. But history has shown that all of these things fade away with time until a new wave of immigrants come. When President Barack Obama announced his plan to help the broken immigration system, he said, and I quote on this one, "Scripture tells us that we shall not oppress a stranger, for we know the heart of a stranger. We were strangers once too, my fellow Americans. We are and always will be a nation of immigrants. We were strangers too." Another senator, also from Illinois, in the 1850s said, "New immigrants who embrace this country should be welcome as Americans." You might know him. His name was Abraham Lincoln. Now let's go to the next point. Illegal immigrants contribute to society. Immigrants have always been the backbone of America. Working as labor, they provide high-quality labor to a low cost. It has been said that illegal immigrants don't pay taxes. Well, this is a big lie. Illegal immigrants pay millions of dollars in taxes. According to the New York Times Economics in 2010, illegal immigrants paid $12 billion in taxes to the Social Security. They pay billions of dollars to benefits they can't even get. It has also been said that illegal immigrants take jobs from native-born Americans. Well, not exactly, because they don't compete for the same jobs. Besides, all of these immigrants help the economy when they spend the money they earn. They create a demand for products and services, and by all means, this creates more jobs. Another way they help the economy is as entrepreneurs, opening a new business. Some conservative members of the government said that the economy suffered if an immigration reform was to be passed. Well, according to the economist R. Laffer, former Reagan economy advisor from the Reagan administration, the immigration reform will reduce federal deficit by $700 billion in the last of 20 years. Some said that illegal immigrants abuse their welfare programs. But most people abuse from these programs. American or not. The problem here is with the laws that regulate these programs and how they are being implemented. You can't just blame immigrants for that. Now let's go to the last point, dreamers. Who are the so-called dreamers? The dreamers are all of those people who came illegally as a child. It wasn't their choice to come to America. They had no option. These people don't know any other nation, any other country, any other soil but American soil. I find somehow ironic that some of them came from Mexico or Latin America and they barely speak Spanish, and some of them don't speak Spanish at all. I'm not saying all of them, but some. So what is it that dreamers want? Okay, let me tell you a little story. My ex-neighbor is Mexican, good guy, very hardworking fella. He speaks Spanish, kind of funny. I get the same way I speak English. He had a life here in San Antonio. He's married with 2 infant children. He always wanted to join the army, but he never could because of his legal status. He came to America when he was 3 months old. 3 months. He was technically born in the border. Three years ago, he got deported for a traffic violation. Now he's in Mexico, in a country that he has never even seen, and his family had to stay here. He was a dreamer, and what dreamers want is that, the dream, a dream, the American dream. Now let's go to the conclusion. We all know that the U.S. is a nation of immigrants. Now you also know that illegal immigrants contribute to society and what a dreamer is. Now I'm going to ask you something. How much would you give to be an American citizen if you were one? Could you really blame people to come here? As a conclusion statement, I would like to give you a fragment of a poem by Emma Lazarus. It's on the table. I don't think I'll be able to read it quite accurate, so my friend Spring's going to help me to read it.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door.
That's a poem in Statue of Liberty.